This is a Fox News alert. I'm Martha McCallum in New York. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died at the age of 87 due to complications from pancreatic cancer, according to the information that we are getting from the court.
She just died? Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time.
This conversation about, like, hey, why don't you pick our guy? No, you pick your guy, I pick my guy. Okay, that's why I became president. That's the conversation I would have, right?
She was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear that. I am sad to hear that. Thank you very much.
There is no doubt, let me be clear, that the voters should pick the president, and the president should pick the justice.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect.
For the Senate to consider. This was the position of the Republican Senate took in 2016 when there were almost 10 months to go before the election. That's the position the United States Senate must take today.
Will the real Joe Biden please stand up?
The president did his job. Do your job, Senate. Look, the Constitution says the president shall nominate, not may, not if he wants to, shall nominate. No, number one. And the Senate must respond. Voters should pick the president, and the president should pick the justice for the Senate to consider. And the election is only 46 days off. And so they should do this with full consideration, and that is my hope and expectation what will happen. And every single person, even the ones I oppose, got a hearing. They got a vote in the committee. After they got a vote in the committee, even if they didn't have enough votes to get out of the committee, I insist that they go to the floor of the Senate because the Constitution says the Senate shall advise and consent. Everyone got a vote on the floor of the Senate, every single one, even in an election year. I made it absolutely clear that I would go forward with the confirmation process as chairman, even a few months before a presidential election. Everybody under me got a vote in committee, on the floor, in an election year. That's the Biden rule. It's the Constitution. And so they should do this with full consideration, and that is my hope and expectation what will happen.
Look, we're following the Biden rule. When Joe Biden was chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee back in 1992, he pointed out that no Supreme Court vacancy created during a presidential election year should be filled.
It would be our pragmatic conclusion that once the political season is underway, and it is, action on a Supreme Court nomination must be put off until after the election campaign is over. That is what is fair to the nominee and essential to the process.
Well, Vice President Biden tweeted out today, he said this: there's only one Biden rule I followed while in the Senate. Every SCOTUS nominee gets a hearing, committee vote, and floor vote, period. And the
day that Justice Scalia died, that is when Mitch McConnell made the announcement that it would be appropriate for the voters to decide in the election, which was many, many months away. Scalia passed away in February. He makes an announcement in February. The election isn't until November.
Brett, look to history. We haven't filled a vacancy created during a presidential election year in 80 years. You'd have to go back to 1888, Grover Cleveland in the White House, to find the last time a Senate controlled by the opposite party of the president confirmed a justice in a presidential election year. Look, this has been the history, this has been the tradition, to not throw one of these nominees into the middle of a presidential election cauldron.
My goal is to prevent the replacement before the new president is installed.
history shows us that the Senate has previously confirmed Supreme Court nominees during a time of a political climate similar to ours. The excuse
that this is a political election season or a divided, contentious political climate simply falls flat in the face of our history.
None of us know what's going to happen. We know what should happen resolutely, unequivocally. We know that this seat should not be filled until after the next presidential inauguration.
This is what all of us swore an oath and signed up to do when there is a vacancy on the Supreme Court.
That this seat should not be filled until after the next presidential inauguration.
The rhetoric, it's a time for this body designed to rise above that, to show that we will operate with a level of dignity and honor and commitment, indeed a fealty to the Constitution, that shows that we are not susceptible to the winds of the time.
And so this is going to be a big test of integrity. And I worry because if it goes the wrong way, we will have a lot of challenges in our republic for the legitimacy of our institutions and people's faith in government leaders and government officials.
And therefore, I will do everything I can to figure out how we can stop a replacement from happening.
The Senate may have compromised its integrity over recent years, but the Supreme Court, if Mitch McConnell makes the wrong decision here, I just worry about the integrity and the legitimacy of the court.
They've taken this seat hostage. Now, normally, they say, oh, we should let the American people decide. Well, I got good news for you. They did. They elected President Obama. They didn't elect him for a 3-year term. They elected him a 4-year term.
2 4-year terms.
Okay, that's how it works.
Chuck Schumer better be staying up all night tonight. He better have already prepared every loophole, every rule, every Senate procedure there is to block this nomination. There are hundreds of them. And you try a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, it doesn't matter.